What's happening, folks? I got a question for you. What was the hardest job you've ever had to do? Like the hardest one. I'm not talking about the one that was most physically demanding, but what was the hardest job you ever had to do? I'll go first. Mine was working at the toll booth. Back in my 20s, I was a toll booth attendant for a little while, and that was the hardest job I've ever had. Not to be a job that was equally as hard was when I worked at Circuit City. Yeah, I worked at Circuit City, but I didn't work in the store. I worked at, I'm telling you how old I am. I worked in Circuit City, but I worked in the Circuit City call center where we were trying to sell people warranties and extended plans on like combo TVs and DVDs and stuff like that. So those two were the hardest jobs I've ever done. Total Boop was hard because it was honestly just boring. I mean, you sit, it's boring. It's making change. It doesn't require a lot of brain capacity to do that job. It was just so boring. Circuit City was hard because it was a cold call job, and it was the auto dial would randomly call people who bought batteries and ask them that they want. Then you had to basically try to sell them extended plans on extended service plans on their items that they got, no matter what it was, no matter how minuscule it was, you still had to try and sell them a plan on that. And that was hard. And that's right when projection screen TVs had come out. Like plasma TVs were a big thing. Those TVs were like $5,000 and $6,000 at the time. And you trying to sell somebody a plan on a TV, they're like, what do you mean it's not? That was hard. That was hard. And I know why Circuit City went under, because, the corporate structure, they got bought out and all that. They got bought out by private equity, and they loaded up with debt and then sold off the scraps. But that job was difficult because of the simple fact that you were trying to convince, the auto dial would call people throughout in the country, call people throughout the country at all times of the day. And it would call people from the East Coast all the way to Hawaii. And we had to sit there and try and sell extended service plans on items people bought. Sometimes they bought them years ago. But I'll never forget trying to sell someone an extended plan on a camcorder they got in the 90s. And it was tough. Now, I will say this, the people that bought it the most were our seniors. Our seniors bought those plans the most. People who were my age in their 20s, they would just hang up on you and cuss you out in a minute. So let me know in the comments, what was your hardest job that you had to do? Let me know.